Insidious. Out of Further is written and directed by Jacob Chase, the man behind Come Play, and is the sixth film in the franchise. And here, a young mother dealing with considerable grief and terrible memories from the past realizes that she can travel into Further and bring something back. The Insidious franchise is one of my favorites. The first film absolutely terrified me. I saw it at just the right time. I was leaving the Jehovah's Witness faith. I hadn't really watched anything like that before that actually explicitly had demons in it. And so I was very scared the whole time, and it always stayed with me that I really love that movie. 2's really good. 3's not too bad. And honestly, there aren't like any awful entries in this franchise. There are entries that are better than others, but the people who have always been involved with this franchise, namely James Wan and Lee Hwannell, have done a pretty good job of maintaining quality control. When it comes to Insidious 6, I think this is my favorite since the third. I think this is the best directed one since the third as well. Jacob Chase is very, very good behind the camera and crafts a lot of great scare sequences. Jacob's a friend of mine. I've known him for a while. He's a really great guy, and I think an opportunity to direct an Insidious movie could not have happened to a better person. I'm so happy that he got to make this movie. But it's also very clear, not just because I know him, but watching the movie, that he really did care about crafting this movie in a way that some of the last couple Insidious films maybe didn't as much. This one feels like a real handcrafted movie. Part of that is because of Jacob's actual history. Before making a couple really fun spook house movies with Come Play and Insidious 6, Jacob actually designed actual spook houses. That's right, he made haunted houses. He designed them in real life. And so, he's very good at crafting scares that make you feel like you're trapped in a haunted house. There's one sequence in this movie in a pillow fort that extends further than most pillow forts usually do that definitely had me on the edge of my seat. There's also a dental exam in the film that I didn't even want to look at. I have a pretty strong stomach, and I can eat while watching things, and most things don't bother me. But there's a sequence in this movie involving a dental exam that I did not want to look at. I squinted my eyes and occasionally looked at IT. IT was so grossed out and very, very effective. This movie also does a very good job of taking a lead character who has a very specific viewpoint of how she was raised. She has tunnel vision. She saw only a few different things of her mother. As a young child, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think as parents, some of us try to shield our children from certain things so they don't know everything that's going on, and sometimes we just don't talk to our kids about everything because they're not fully going to understand or appreciate it. In the case of this movie, though, you have opening sequence that was very effective that features a mother who's dealing with a lot of various things, and you can kind of guess what they are, and it seems to make sense, but as she gets older and delves into her mother's history. I really like what this film did for her character as an adult. IT was a great evolution of who she thought she was, and where she came from and discovering the truth. This movie also has a task of moving on past the Lambert family, because the last film closed that red door, so to speak. And so now we have to decide whether or not the Insidious movies can continue. And what is that excuse? And I think adding some new mythology, this new idea that a person could potentially bring something back from further into our world, what that means, what are the stakes, and the urgency of that. This movie handles that really, really well. And I was concerned about one specific thing. I won't get into any spoilers, but I'll try to do my best to talk about it. There's a movie called Geostorm. You may have seen it. It's a movie about a big old geostorm. You know what I mean? And the whole movie is them trying to prevent the geostorm. But we paid to see the geostorm, and since the whole movie is them trying to prevent it, we're like, hey, where's the thing we paid for? You know, the title of the movie that is so out of further. Obviously, you would expect the heroes to not want certain things to happen. And I wanted certain things to happen. And I can just tell you that I was satisfied. You know, the film found a way to make everybody happy in that regard. If you're like me and at the end of summer you're already thinking about spooky season, it's kind of beginning for you already that you're thinking about spooky vibes and warm, cozy fall jackets and stuff like that. Crunchy leaves and jack-o'-lanterns. This would be a really fun way to get that started for you at the end of the summer. I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a better Insidious film. There's an affinity that a lot of us have for certain installments in horror franchises like Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors or The Return of Michael Myers or H2O. There's always like that one installment. Jason Lives for me, where it feels like maybe that wasn't discussed in a certain way when it first came out, but it became a fan favorite. And I could totally see Insidious 6 being referenced as one of the better sequels moving forward. I do think it's one of the better sequels. I think Jacob did a great job directing and writing this movie. I think it has really good performances. I liked all the scares. They were very, very effective. And he found a really good excuse for why there even needs to be more Insidious. Despite the fact that they're easy to make, they're not too expensive, and people show up for them. This movie isn't just relying on that. It is trying to be a really good story, and I think Jacob did a great job. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching.